Back by popular demand, Trashed and Scattered by Avenged Sevenfold. I'm going to finish this one in the coming week. It'll probably take me 1 or 2 more videos after this one, and the whole song will be neatly finished. Afterwards, I will be finishing as well Plini completely in the week after. If it takes 1 or 2 or 3 videos in that same week, it will be finished, I hope. Once I have that wrapped up, we can continue on with, Chan, for example, and continue with, the guitar studies that I've started. I want to give a shout out to Manu Iglesias and Emo Josh for, asking if I could, continue this one and finish it up. So thanks a lot for, leaving me that reminder, and also for just, supporting me and encouraging me to really finish this one. Let's start. Avenged Sevenfold, Trashed and Scattered. Exercise 0. Exercise 0. Now why 0? Because we're just dealing with a couple of, just the riff for the verse, which I've written down the chords that we're using. I don't think it would have been very necessary to put all the palm mutes that come in between, because you can figure out these palm mutes very easily simply by listening to the song and paying attention to the tempo. Okay? And I'll, of course, try to guide you through how you can best approach those palm mutes if you're having a lot of difficulty. So we have the following chords that we're using. Play as effectively as you can. So you don't have to overexert your strength necessarily to play these palm mutes with the fast speed. You don't want your guitar to be jerking up and down as you're, bouncing up and down these chords to do the palm mutes. You really want to do them with enough strength, of course, but not so much that it's too much strength. That can often happen. Also, you want to be practicing at a slow speed, especially since it's pretty fast-paced palm mutes. Now we're moving on to exercise 1, where we are basically starting the chorus, and during the chorus there's a really cool lead guitar, and we're going to be deconstructing that and learning it today. So that'll be the first segment that we're going to be dealing with. We're starting off on the 15th fret B string, and we're bouncing from 15 to 14 a couple of times. So that's 14 on the G. So that's 15 B string, bounce to the 14, 18 on the B string, bounce back to 14, 17, 15 on the B string, bounce to 14, slide to 17 on the G. Pay attention to the fingers you're using for each note, because you don't want to be playing a game of Twister on the fretboard and then making mistakes. You want to be doing yoga, doing things properly and beautifully. So once we have the slide on the 17th fret from 14, we play 17 again on the G, 17 on the high E, back to 17 on the low G. Then we're going to play 15, moving on with our middle finger, 15 on the high E, pinky on the 18 on the B, ring finger on 17 on the G. Then we have 15 on the B string, G string 15, D string 15. So after this, 15, 15, 15, we're moving on with our pinky to the B string 18, then 17 on the G, and then 15 on the D, slide to 14, vibrato. We're staying on the D string after the vibrato. We're going to be playing 17 on the D, 14 on the D, using my pinky, of course. That's 17, 16 on the A. So 17, 14 D, 17, 16 on the A. So we're going to be barring the 14th fret and sliding the 3 notes consecutively, all 14, starting from the D string. Now here you have to be careful because you are barring it, but then you're doing that rolling motion that I explained in my sweep picking video. So you have to roll it for it not to ring. Now we're moving on to exercise 2, which would be the second half of the riff guitar lead. We're starting from 15 on the B, moving to 14 on the G, 15 on the D, back to 14, back to 15, and then back to 14. So we go to the continue on the B string, 17, 18, vibrate it a little bit. You're playing, or at least I'm playing with my ring finger, and then 18 with my pinky, and then I try to anchor all of my fingers to give it a strong vibrato. From there we're bouncing to the G string, 17, going to the D, 19, back to G string, 17, then we have 15 on the high E, back to 17, then we're using our ring finger to play 17 on the high E, then we're moving to a little bit of a tight spot. Right here I'm not sweeping, I'm just alternate picking, and I'm also not barring. And there are reasons for that, because it just, for me at least, it's easiest to just put all my 3 fingers. That's 17 on the B, 17 on the G, 17 on the D. It is a little bit of a tight spot. Maybe if your fingers are really much thicker than mine, then it would be you'd have a little bit more difficulty. You'd have to maybe sweep it instead. But I think you can just use all your fingers and pick it. So that's starting with our index finger, pinky 18, that's 17B, pinky 18, back to 17, 17 on the G, back to 17 on the B, 17 on the G, 17 on the D. Then we're going to 17 on the B string, pull off to 15, so that's a very light bend, not just so once you do that light bend, pull off to 15, then we're going to play 17 right on top of that, which is the G, and that we're really going to bend. And then give it a little bit of a vibrato. And then we repeat the whole sequence again. And that would be that guitar lead at the chorus. Now we have some fun stuff here, some wild bends. This is going to take some finger dexterity. It's also a good guitar riff lead to practice your dexterity for your bends. We are starting with the first bend, which is 17-15. That's 17 on the G and 17 on the B. That's how the sequence is going to go with a pairing of notes. One thing that you should pay attention to, when I first started learning how to do these 2-note bends, you're actually just bending one of the notes technically. So what I tried to do when I first started to learn was I tried to bend the 17th note, for example, up top, but I would also try to bend the B string all the way down. And it would cause some trouble with my fingers. It didn't feel right. Sometimes I get a little bit of pain here and there, and you obviously don't want to be feeling any pain if you're doing these things. So you want to actually just bend the upper note. There's no need to also be pulling that other note like as far as you can down. You do pull it a bit down naturally because of the strength you're adding to the strings, but mostly it's all about that upper string. So this is how we're gonna move. That's 17, 16, 15, 13, 12, 11, 10, 5. And then you have one fretboard in between and then the note right before it. So once we're doing the first bend, we're moving on to 16, and here we're adding a vibrato. And the vibrato, really, you don't have to pay too much attention to it. Just when you're doing it at a fast speed, you can just shake your guitar, really. Then 15, when we're at the 13 bend, we're also adding a vibrato. Then we have really fast bends. This is kind of the hardest part. That's 12, 11, 10. And that's basically, you just have to take it one step at a time. You will feel fatigue right as you're practicing, especially if you've never really practiced this type of stuff before. Feel that fatigue on your fingers. Take breaks. Come back the following day stronger. Don't overwork yourself. Then we have exercise 4, which is the last segment of this video. Super, super cool. I love this part very much. We're actually sweeping, okay? This is very important. You don't want to be alternate picking the first few notes. Hey, if you can and it sounds great, fantastic. But I suggest the sweep. Take a look. So we're starting at the 15th fret D, going to 14 on the G, going to 13 on the B. So we have this. From there, we're going on the B string, 14, 15, high E, 13, 15, 16, 16. So we sweep pick from that D string 15, 14, 13, and it's palm muted. And from there, we're gonna mini shred our soles away. Notice the pattern of downstroke, upstroke that I'm doing, because we're actually adding one little bit of economy picking, if you think about it. Once we do the sweep, we've already downpicked the first note in the sequence. So that's 15, 14, oh, we already downpicked that sequence. So now we're going upstroke 14, downstroke 15. We're already at a downstroke, so let's continue that downstroke to 13. Upstroke 15, downstroke 16, upstroke 16 again, bend that little note. So yeah, there's actually a special little economy picking thing there. And the good thing about it, because it's just one time that you're doing it, you don't have to think about it too much. It just kind of happens with the flow of that mini intense lick. So important, sweep with palm mute, shred your sole away, starting already with the downstroke from the sweep, and then we're going again with the downstroke to the E, shred away. That'll be the end for this guitar study on Trashed and Scattered. The next video will probably be focusing on the riffs that follow up after those leads, like, you know, the bridge and the chorus. And then the last video will probably be for the solo, nice sweet little solo that it has. I hope it was helpful, and I hope that you guys can use this video to also learn the song and enjoy it as much as I have. I'll see you all again next time on another guitar study video.